Merry Christmas to you all. My grandmaster gave us a cookie, especially for Christmas time. Lately, we have been talking about patriarchal Zen. Patriarch is a word that I borrowed from the Catholics, because you are, in a sense, from that historical tradition. Lineage to lineage, mind to mind. And finally, you and I are here exchanging ideas one way or the other. I know many of you have been here all the way through, but some of you, unfortunately, could not come every day. You have business to take care of and other things to do. I really feel sorry about that, but even though the situation is really difficult and hard, you still have to push your limits at times and build strength, no matter how difficult it is. I think it is very important that you raise yourself up out of the long time comfortable zone. Get out of it and put yourself to work. Real work. It should be a resting busyness. The body is deadly busy. On the other hand, mind goes only in one direction. If mind is busy, body has to rest. So, who is in charge of the family? At Christmas Eve, what do we actually celebrate? When I was decorating the Christmas tree with my little kids, it's always very special to put the star on top of it. But what is the meaning? What is the meaning of Christmas? The family, Jesus. So usually when we have a Christmas tree, we have the tree of life as a symbol. And we put a very, very bright star on top of it. What is the real meaning of a family? What do we celebrate? And using all these rituals and prayers, a very, very old, ancient tradition. So let's meditate on this. Who is in charge of the family? So get out of it and put yourself to work. The reason is not because you have something to do in this world, but what you have been doing is actually not what you are qualified for. It is disgraceful that, so far, you have destroyed yourself in certain ways. You haven't developed yourself at all. Would you believe you are already in God's hand, or rather in the midst of God's heart? Are you aware of the fact that you are originally Buddha? Are you aware that you are the enlightened one before all other Buddhas? This physical body, this leather bag, is a warehouse or a chamber. Your corpse is the chamber of the law. Your mind is the lantern of all the laws. When your mind is bright, the whole world is bright. So on Christmas, there's sometimes a lot of trouble. How come we have this trouble arising during Christmas? In Switzerland, Christmas time is also from nature very important. It's when it's darkest outside, and in the winter time, nature is retreating, going back to the very, very deep roots. And at the darkest hour, a lot of family members have their voices. So don't bother about outside and inside, because we all have a lot of family members inside, like the animals, the hungry ghosts, the beasts, the half-gods and gods. When I ask my 2-year-old who's in charge of the family, he says, I am in charge of the family. And he's right. He's not saying, I'm the only one. When I asked my 4-year-old who's in charge of the family, he said, Mommy and Daddy. When I asked the dwellers in the cave in puberty, who is in charge of the family, they say, you tyrants. Well, but so what is this star on top of the Christmas tree representing? What symbol? If it's a star, a cross, or in Buddhism, the Dharma wheel, it's always an orientation that guides us. So when my 4-year-old say, Mommy and Daddy, he hasn't seen me at all. Who is this mother and father? Or who is this tyrant? Mother and father at all. but it's very important, like disciple and teacher, or husband and wife. We always have these roles. So at Christmas, we celebrate the birth of Jesus. But what is Jesus really meaning? It's the best a person can be. It's the same as Buddha or all the patriarchs. They represent the best. That's why we put a star on top of the Christmas tree to symbolize the Logos, the living word that makes order out of chaos. And in the evening, when the kids go to sleep and we parents have to organize and manage the family, we are always subordinate to the bright star. So when we see a Christmas tree, for some, it triggers very bad stuff because it reminds us on the potential, that we all have a potential to be the best as we can be. And that is really the beauty of Christmas time. To retreat and go back and re-examine very deeply what is best. So all the family members, inside and outside, have their voices and their voices heard. But the bright star has to decide and take on the responsibility to guide us safely. And when we put the decoration on it, I made a funny game, which each shining ball, we said it's a family member. Like, this is Uncle Peter, this is my student, that's my student's wife, that's my aunt, my mother, my father, and all are nourished by the tree of life. And all follow the best of the best. So, who is in charge of the family? It is the very bright star. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.